Oklahoma's special session continues. A proposed bill could help state spending, and one of OU's oldest buildings makes a change. This is OU Nightly. We're now in week 8 of the special session, and there is still no solution to the $215 million hole in the state budget.
That's right, Collin. So, however, Oklahoma legislators have found the time to raise thousands of dollars through lavish fundraisers. So dozens of fundraisers are being held to raise money for an election that is still a year away.
Now, during a regular session, members could face fines and a year of jail time for accepting contributions from lobbyists or companies that employ them. But a loophole was put in place in 2008, establishing that those consequences shouldn't apply to special sessions like the one we're in right now. The reason being is, what if a special session is called when someone is right in the middle of a campaign? But the concerns are that the contributions could affect some voting on major bills.
Now, a potential new bill could help Oklahoma agencies recover from budget cuts. House Bill 1019 passed with a 56-38 vote. The bill could reduce Oklahoma's overall state spending by $60 million in the final 7 months of the budget year. Now, the Senate will consider the bill tomorrow. If it does not pass this week, the Advantage Waiver Program, mental health services, and Medicaid provider rates could be in trouble. And President Trump's tax plan is steadily progressing. Nightly's Allyson Stewart is now in News Center with details. Allyson.
Thanks, Jaycie. The House of Representatives passed a major tax reform advancing a key agenda item for President Donald Trump and congressional Republicans. The vote was 227 to 205, with 13 House Republicans joining all Democrats to oppose the bill. This is the first step in a multi-stage process. Passing the bill is just the first vote. The bill will now move to the Senate. Morning News anchor Leanne Tweeden accused Senator Al Franken of sexually assaulting her in 2006.
He stuck his tongue down my mouth, and I remember I pushed him off with my hands, and I said, if you ever do that to me again, I'm not going to be so nice about it the second time.
Franken also took a photo pretending to grope Tweeden while she was asleep. Tweeden detailed the encounter in an article published on her radio website and said she's telling her story because there may be others. Franken apologized in a statement, which Tweeden accepted during a news conference. Tweeden also said it isn't her place to call for an ethics investigation, and that should be left up to Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Former President George H.W. Bush is facing yet another groping allegation, this time from a Michigan woman who said Bush touched her inappropriately at an event while he was still in office. The woman said she was attending a fundraiser for Bush's re-election campaign when he grabbed her rear end during a photo op. This is the first allegation against the former president that happened while he was in office. The federal corruption trial of New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez ended in a mistrial today. This comes as a blow to the Justice Department, which has been investigating Menendez for nearly 5 years. Menendez faced charges of conspiracy, bribery, and honest services fraud related to allegedly abusing the power of his office. Prosecutors did not immediately announce whether they will refile charges against Menendez. Trump said that Roy Moore allegations are troubling, but the voters of Alabama should decide Moore's fate.
Allyson. A state audit shows an Oklahoma fairground official collected more than $15,000 in unauthorized pay and gave unauthorized discounts to select vendors. The fairgrounds director, Mike Anderson, was hired to work a 40-hour work week, put out a salary based on a 35-hour work week. He earned overtime pay to reach 40 hours. The discounts Anderson approved resulted in more than $23,000 in lost revenue. He claims he had permission from the commissioner to give these discounts. The commissioner has not commented at this time.
And, you know, it's actually been pretty cloudy today, a little cold, actually.
Yeah, I know. Trey, where is that sun at?
So the sun is actually going to stay away. We're going to finally see the sun as we head into this weekend. For now, we have that cloud cover. It stuck around this morning. It will stay as we head into the evening. We were in the upper 50s in Norman this morning. We're still in the upper 50s. That cloud cover acts as a blanket, keeps heat from reaching the surface as well as leaving the surface. So temperatures throughout the day only vary a few degrees. 58 here in Norman, 62 in Ardmore, 62 in Elk City. Here is the past 6 hours of visible satellite. This is that cloud layer I was talking about, and that's going to persist as we head into the evening and throughout the overnight. Our weather headlines: much warmer Friday, 70s and 80s across the state. I'll have more on that coming up. A cooler weekend ahead, cold front Saturday morning, and our first look at our Thanksgiving forecast. It looks mild, it looks beautiful. I'll have all of that and more coming up in Maine weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Trey. So the president of Hobby Lobby has a new way of expressing his Christianity. Steve Green and his $4 billion arts and craft chain are known for closing on Sundays. But now Green is in the process of starting a museum. The Museum of the Bible will open 3 blocks from the U.S. Capitol, and the $500 million museum will open tomorrow and feature the family's collection of biblical artifacts.
The university campus is a big part of the Norman culture, but most students don't get a chance to experience all that the city has to offer. But today, Student Government Association hosted its first ever OU Loves Norman event in the Union Courtyard. Local restaurants and businesses were brought in to engage students with local businesses, and the turnout was greater than expected.
We had a great turnout from students, faculty, and staff. We even had a couple of council members show up from Norman, so that was great. We ordered food for 300 people, and it ran out in 30 minutes, so I think that kind of is a good testament to our numbers today.
Events like this, where the two are really working together in tandem, are a great opportunity for students and for businesses to be able to interact with each other and really create a more cohesive community between the university and the city. So I think it's a great opportunity.
So still ahead on OU Nightly, OU's library gets an update.
Plus, a smokeout that has nothing to do with food. Stay with us. Welcome back. One of the oldest buildings on OU's campus has done a bit of remodeling. Kenneth Adair takes us through the new look of the OU library.
The #1 library in the country got a few updates over the summer.
We're really trying to make the library the point where all of that knowledge intersects. It comes together and kind of polishes each other up. The ideas bounce off of each other and improve because they can be reused in other departments and colleges.
One of the main reasons for the new improvements was to increase the flow of traffic throughout the establishment.
I definitely see a lot more people in the computer labs any time of day, especially now that it's close to the midterms. It seems to always be someone occupying some space, which is really great. I haven't really explored the other floors, like the older versions, but for the renovated parts, I've definitely seen a body in an occupied space.
But construction is a process, and for the older parts of the building, it will take some time to get started.
We're working our way through the library. You know, it's limited by resources. And so, you know, we've got to go find more resources to carry on a lot of what's happened. And you know, we've got to work through all the politics of it, which can be different as a new president may roll into place. So we're going to have to see where things go.
Carl is satisfied so far with the new additions to the biz, but wants to see it continue to improve. Kenneth Adair, OU Nightly.
Now the plan is to continue construction throughout the biz, but there is no set date on when it will start. Now, smoking has been a problem for generations. Shereen Hashem joins us with how American Cancer Society is doing their part to raise awareness. Shereen.
That's right, Collin. Today is American Cancer Society's annual Great American Smokeout. The nationwide effort to help people quit smoking takes place on the 3rd Thursday of November. Jeff Drope of the ACS says some smokers need encouragement to quit.
I think we need a reminder to quit. I think people often have it in the back of their minds, but it's really nice to get a push.
According to the American Cancer Society, about 36.5 million people still smoke cigarettes. Reports suggest that after 5 years of quitting, your risk of mouth, throat, and bladder cancer is cut in half. The CDC released new guidelines this week that lower the threshold for high blood pressure, adding 30 million more Americans to the growing list of high blood pressure patients. The condition now affects nearly half of the adults in the U.S. Previously, high blood pressure was measured at 140/90. The new guidelines lower that rate to 130/80. This change means that additional 14% of adults now have high blood pressure, but only 2% will need medication right away. The other 12% are suggested to lead healthier lifestyles to combat their high blood pressure levels. And now for an update on flu season in Oklahoma. There have been 10 new flu-related hospitalizations this week, making a total of 63 since September. There have been no reported flu deaths this season. And a 12-year-old girl from Colorado joined a lawsuit to sue U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The lawsuit aims to legalize medical marijuana across the nation. Alexis Bortel spoke about her experience with the drug.
I have intractable epilepsy. So I have seizures that traditional medications wouldn't really help. I would like to be able to visit my grandparents without risking being taken to a foster home.
Her doctors in Texas recommended her brain surgery, but her pediatrician suggested she treat the seizures with medical marijuana. And Collin and Jaycie, a California man was found alive 3 days after falling off a cliff.
Wow, where at?
Yeah, in the Bay Area, he was hiking and just was looking over at the view and fell.
Dang, you gotta need some more self-awareness out there, man.
A little bit. That's a lot of time and
I know.
far fall.
It's crazy that he's still alive.
Yeah. Good thing he's all safe, though. Thanks, Shereen.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, the holidays bring a lot of joy to a lot of people, but the city of Norman has to fight one major issue every year. With Thanksgiving 1 week away, the city of Norman wants to remind residents in the dangers of pouring fats, oils, and grease down the drain.
When you cook your turkey or you have just your bacon grease, things of that nature, it's in a liquid form, and you pour it down your drain. Well, when it cools, it becomes solidified. And it's not like concrete, but it's still a gummy solid. And that starts collecting on the inside walls of your sewer lines, whether it's your homeowner's property line or it's our collection system. And that slowly, it's just like your arteries. It slowly, decreases the volume of your sewer line. And so when that gets to a critical point, it actually can clog up your whole sewer line. It will back up. It could back up a whole block of sewer, and then people get sewer, discharges in their tubs and in their lower area showers, things of that nature, or it affects first.
Now, the city of Norman provides a service at their transfer station to drop off your grease for free, and they will dispose of it. In fact, city residents can do that this Saturday at the Lloyd Noble Center parking lot. The hours are from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Still head on OU Nightly, there could be a cold front hanging our way.
Right, so Trey, what's it looking like?
Yeah, guys, so warmer temperatures are expected for tomorrow, but a cold front is in store for Saturday. I'll have more information on that after the break. I'm Trey with a look at your weather. Here is a live view outside from the OU Cast Cam, the College of Arts and Sciences, looking towards Bazell Library. There's the clock tower, that layer of cloud cover that we talked about in first weather that has kept our temperatures in the upper 50s throughout the day is going to persist into the evening. 59 degrees right now in Norman, southeast winds at 8 miles per hour, and those south winds are going to play a part in our dramatically warmer temperatures tomorrow. Let's break this down, break down your weekend. 57 degrees by 7 p.m. this evening as we advance through the overnight Thursday night into Friday. Temperatures will remain in the 60s and we will actually warm. That's due to those southerly winds, and that cloud cover is warming our temperatures through the overnight. 78 degrees for a high tomorrow, 81 for a high down in Lawton. Here comes the cold front where the green meets the yellow, 53 for a low Saturday morning, and then 57 for a high on Saturday, so temperatures will not change very much due to those northerly winds. And in northern Oklahoma on Sunday, a freeze is possible, so bring in those delicate plants. Game day forecast up in Kansas where OU football takes on Kansas at 2:30 p.m. kickoff, 40 degrees. In the 40s, northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour, so be sure to bundle up if you're headed to the game. Evening planner, 57 at 8 p.m. We will warm through the evening. Winds will be out of the southwest with partly to mostly cloudy skies. 57 for a low in both Oklahoma City and Norman, 61 for a low in Ardmore tonight. Your day planner tomorrow as you're heading out the door, 61 degrees, winds out of the southwest with mostly to partly cloudy skies, 78 for a high as you're headed home, and highs tomorrow 78 degrees, 80 degrees down in Lawton, 80s for all of southwestern Oklahoma tomorrow, so dramatically warmer than today. Headlines for your 2 days, Friday much warmer, and 50s and 60s throughout the rest of your 7-day. Guys, Thanksgiving looks beautiful, upper 60s, light winds and partly cloudy skies.
Wow, perfect. I'll be up in the Panhandle, so it'll probably be colder up there.
A little bit, yeah. It'll be beautiful either way.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Trey.
Absolutely.
Well, while they aren't tossing the pigskin around, the Sooners are definitely hitting the books, aren't they, Shiloh?
That's right, Collin. The Sooners are busy dominating both the classroom and the turf. And the Thunder roping the Bulls. I'll tell you all about it when we come back, so don't go anywhere. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome back. After a big home win last week, the Sooners are hitting the road, headed to Lawrence, Kansas to beat the Jayhawks. This should be an easy win for OU, as the Jayhawks have not won a single game in Big 12 play. I'm sure every Sooner fan would agree. We don't want another scare like Baylor. But the players are focusing on doing their best against every opponent.
Anybody can beat anybody. I mean, we already lost a game, and so you can't take anybody lightly in college football. People can get those big plays, those plays that you might think are a fluke. I mean, anything can happen in college football, so and we always got to handle business. We always got to work hard.
The Sooners are not only killing the game on the field, but also in the classroom. 18 football student athletes have been named to the 2017 academic All-Big 12 team. Per the Sooner norm, 7 locked-in first-team selections. Connor McGinnis, along with Brian Mead, topped the list with 4.0 GPAs, an impressive feat for any student, much less a student athlete. OU also has a league high of 11 second-team athletes, with the last 11 seasons having 7 or more first-team honorees. The boys in crimson are carrying the legacy for Sooner excellence. The Sooner volleyball team suffered another hard loss last night. They fell short against number 23 Iowa State. OU is having a rough season, but outside hitter Alyssa Innenking sure isn't. She posted her 16th double-double of the season. They plan to bounce back for this Saturday for their game against the Kansas State Wildcats. And the OKC Thunder are finding their rhythm with their third straight win. They tamed the Chicago Bulls in a 92-79 win last night. Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony proved to be a dynamic duo, as Westbrook led with 21 points and 7 assists, while Anthony hit the boards with 11 rebounds, making them game leaders. We'll see tomorrow if the Thunder can take the success they've had at home on the road with them as they travel to the San Antonio to battle the Spurs tomorrow. And a showdown is brewing tonight as the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors face off. Both of these teams have had to deal with injuries to key players, and both have been dominating the court despite those injuries. The #1 defense against the #1 offense may just be giving fans a preview of the NBA Finals. The battle begins at 7 for a game you don't want to miss. In a showdown of their own for primetime, Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers each put their 4-game winning streak on the line to further their chances of making the AFC playoffs. Both teams showed up and showed out earlier this week, each winning their games in the final seconds, but the ESPN's Power Index is giving this to the Steelers. Only time will tell. And after a big win for the Philadelphia 76ers, a fan you might just recognize couldn't hold back his excitement as he crashed Joel Embiid's interview.
What was working so well for you? Career highs in points, blocks, assists, free throws.
Process. Trust the process.
Does it get any better than that? What was the key to all of this, Joel?
Just being aggressive. I did the same thing against the Clippers, and
just trust the process. Just trust the process.
Sometimes you just get so excited that it just comes out of your mouth.
Exactly.
I got a lot of love for Kevin Hart. He's one of my favorites.
I love him.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shiloh.
Still to come on OU Nightly, the Pope gets new wheels that won't be hitting the pavement anytime soon.
So stay with us.
I'm Cheyenne Plummer at the Update Desk. The Keystone Pipeline has been shut down after 210,000 gallons of oil leaked in South Dakota. Officials are investigating the cause of the flow. This is not the first time the pipeline has sprung a leak, as nearly 17,000 gallons spilled in April 2016. That's it for now. Jaycie?
Thank you, Cheyenne. So Pope Francis got a new ride recently, a special edition Lamborghini Huracan. However, how nice these wheels might be, the Pope won't be driving them. The plan is to auction off this vehicle to raise money for several charities. So if you're willing to pay the big bucks, you could drive away with not only a special edition Lamborghini, but one the one that has the Pope's signature on the hood.
I'll tell you, he's going to want to make sure that thing doesn't get hit by meteors. Trey, what's your weather fact?
Yeah, guys, so this Friday night into Saturday morning is the Leonid Meteor Shower. It's an annual event, but unfortunately, we may not be able to see it in Oklahoma due to the fact we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies.
Why does that always happen?
So for the best visibility, you could drive to Southwest Texas.
How far would I have to drive, though?
Probably near El Paso.
All the way to El Paso?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
see meteors.
Dang, I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, I imagine there's a video of it somewhere.
Exactly, right?
Appreciate that anyway, though, Trey.
No problem.
Thank you, Trey. And thank you all for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication here on OU's campus.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.